Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you finish all of your work for a module and you're ready for a DBA. So remember that DBA is called a discussion-based assessment, and once we're there, we're going to talk about what you do to schedule one of those. So for me, there's two different formats that you can use, and you can just pick whichever format works best for you. The first format is a phone DBA. So the phone DBA is nice because it does give you a little bit more flexibility for some DBA times. You have to schedule that though through my announcement calendar, which you can find on the DBA page, or it's listed here. So if you want to pause the screen and write this down, if that's what you would prefer to do, a phone DBA, then you would be using this link to sign up for an appointment. Now the other way to do a DBA is through our online format. And our online format is super easy. It does give you more of a visual. So if you're in one of my math classes, for instance, it's probably an easier way to do a DBA when you use the online classroom because you'll be able to get help from me. You can ask me questions and I can actually work through math questions on the online classroom. So the online format is pretty awesome. And if that's the method you'd like to use, be sure to write that classroom, that online link in your notebook so that you have it. Okay, before we finish this video, I just want to make sure that you know where to find this information if you ever lose the video or if you just want to refresh your mind on some of the steps for your DBA. So again, notice here I've actually, let me click on it, bookmarked this Weebly, and that would be a good idea for you if you're going to use this site a lot. Remember, this is the site you would go to for all of your resources for each course, but to the right of that you'll notice it says DBA information. So when I click on it, it's going to show you all of the information I'm telling you now. So we're going to talk about really quick in this video, we're going to talk about the online DBA and how we access that and what it looks like. And this is where you could go to get into the online classroom. You would just click enter the online classroom and it would take you to Blackboard where you would just put your name in. Let me go back. So again, that enter the online classroom is here on this page, and then your phone DBA information is also here on this page. All right, so what does it look like if you choose to use the Blackboard Collaborate? And I'm going to show you. So if you use our online classroom, you're going to go to this link. It's always the same link. And you may need to download the Blackboard Collaborate Launcher for your first time to the site. And then after that, it should keep it. If you have any issues, notice this button called Support. You can click on that and it'll help you. But basically, you enter the class with your name, course, and module. And the reason we do this is that way when you enter, for instance, if this was me entering, right away it would tell me that I am in 7th grade. And then I want to do my Module 2 DBA. So it's just a quicker way for me to get those questions to you. So right here in this box, you would write that. You would write your name, your grade, and then whatever module you want to complete. Once you do that, you will enter the classroom and it will look like this. It'll say our online DBA process is easy. And it's going to walk you through the steps that you will take to complete your DBA. So notice the first step is how you log in. The second step is an option. Now you can right-click on my name and send me your number if you'd like, or you can use the microphone. What's going to happen is I'm going to put you in your own little individual room. So if you choose to use the microphone, it's almost like talking on the phone, but just with the teacher. So notice 3, that's what I was telling you. I'm going to put you into a separate chat room with just me. And the cool thing about this is you're going to get to see the questions. You can actually write on the screen with your answers as well. Takes us to 4. You can write your answers on a sheet of paper if you'd like, or you can write them on the board virtually with your tools from Blackboard. And then there's a virtual hand that you're going to raise once you're ready, and that will tell me that you're ready to go over the questions and you feel comfortable with the questions. Now, once that's happened, I will either call you on the phone in order of those who have their hand raised, or I will talk to you over the microphone. So those are some options. Now notice 6, when you complete your DBA, you can leave. And then what you'll do is you'll submit your DBA through assessments. And you can either attach your work, so if you wrote your work on a separate sheet of paper, you'll attach that, or I'll show you how to save it when we're having our conversation so you can submit your DBA that way. You may also notice this screen when you enter the classroom for an online DBA. And this screen says, don't feel like writing down your answers on paper? No worries, feel free to use the tools on Blackboard and you can solve the problems out online. Ms. McCullough will check your work on the board and talk through it together. So feel free to use the tools on Blackboard if you'd prefer to do that. You'll also see this on the Blackboard, in the Blackboard classroom, and these are some steps that you could take when you're done talking to the teacher so that you can submit your DBA, your assignment. So here are your steps. Once you've talked on the phone or through the microphone with me, you're going to answer the questions listed for the module DBA that you want to complete. And remember, we said it could be on a sheet of paper or it could be virtually with the markers. You can take a picture of your work and upload your picture to the assignment, or you can write them in the comments box. Number 3, submit the discussion-based assessment that can be found in the Assessments tab in the classroom. Just a couple of things to keep you ahead and make sure you're okay here is having trouble hearing. When you enter the online classroom for a DBA or for a live lesson, feel free to check your audio to make sure it's working. So I wrote the steps here for you, but what you want to do is you want to go on the top of your screen, notice on the top where your file button is, click on Tools, and then you're going to click on Audio. And that should let you go to something called an Audio Setup Wizard that will walk you through getting your microphone ready. So make sure you do this when you enter the Blackboard classroom. Here's some other tools I think that might be helpful for you to know anytime you enter the online classroom. We talked about raising your virtual hand. Notice that's right here. It's the third button over when you're in the Blackboard classroom. In live lessons, not so much in DBAs, you may use the smiley face emoticons or sad face or confused, but that's where that is. The talk, so if you want to use your microphone, you're wanting to look on your screen for the talk button, and that will let us talk back and forth. And then the other cool thing is the chat feature, so we can chat back and forth if we need to do that as well. So just get familiar with those, find those in on the Blackboard classroom so that you know where to find those and you feel comfortable when it's time for your DBA. All right, so when you enter the classroom, it's going to look like this. This is just an example for Module 2 for 7th grade math. I just want to point out your tools that we talked about earlier. So notice that we have a couple of things going on here. You can see up here we've got the emoticons that we talked about. These are things that you can click and it'll show me how you're feeling. The virtual hand is the third one over, so you can use that for your DBA. And notice it says 1. Now that number will represent how many people are in front of you. So you're in this case, I'm the first one or the only one with my hand raised. These are polling tools, and this is a step away if you're not there and you want to step away. So that's where you find that. Notice this is my talk button. And this is a video. You can click that. Yours might be a little bit different. Sometimes yours may be below or above, so you want to find where yours is. And then the last one is the chat button, so find your chat box. A couple other things to point out for you is that you should see, I'm dragging this right now, but these are tools that you can use. So if you choose to write on here, the third one down is a marker. So if you click on it, it'll let you change its color and its stroke size, which means if you want it to be fine print or if you want it to be thick, and you can actually write on the board with your mouse, or if you have a touch screen, you can write with your touch screen. So that's what you may want to use. Some people have used the text box too, which is the fourth one down. If you click on that and just place it where you want to place it, it will let you type. And then when you want to go to the next line, just click enter and then type again. Some people like to use that, so you're more than welcome to use that on here to write your answers. Now, oftentimes you're going to have more than 3 questions listed, and in this specific example, you actually have 5, and normally you only have to do 3 of them, so you can pick whichever 3 you'd like to go over with me. Let's say you want to go over number 2 and you want to write that out. you would actually write it out for me and show me how to solve it if you want on the board, or when we talk, you'll go over the process of solving that, but you can write on the board. So this is kind of what your screen should look like when you're in the online classroom and you're working on DBAs. Okay, we've spent all this time talking about online DBAs and what that looks like and how to log in, and some of you just may want to do a phone call DBA. So here are some things to keep in mind if you're working on that phone call DBA. Remember, you have to schedule that through the appointment calendar, which was on that Weebly resource page. So you'll have to go to this link here and pick a time that works for you and give me all of the information so that I can call you, your phone number and your name and your course. Again, when you're doing a phone call DBA, it's a little bit different in terms of the formatting. You're not going to be able to really visually see any of the questions that I might be asking. So instead, it's always wise that you basically look through your notes and come up with about 3 facts that you learned from the chapter that you would want to share with me. And then I'll ask you questions regarding those 3 facts that you've shared with me, and just make sure that you understand the general idea of the module. And then we'll go through that together, and I'll give you your password for your test, and then you'll be done with your DBA over the phone. Please email me or call me if you have any questions regarding our DBA process, and I look forward to talking to you soon.